Everybody is ablaze right now. Everybody's wondering, what is really going on with Angel Reese? Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky? Angel, you gotta be, hold on, you have to have some level of self-awareness here.
I have a take on Angel Reese that I'm sure will trigger a bunch of people, but I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit.
Angel Reese didn't just skip a game, she skipped the game. No injury update, no courtside appearance, not even a shadow in the tunnel. Fans are asking, is this really about a back injury? Or has the Sky's brightest star already decided she's done with Chicago? Tonight, we're breaking down the rumors, the receipts, and the clues that have everyone wondering if Angel Reese just quietly quit on her team.
I don't know. Angel Reese, she might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating, what is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait, what's going on?
Welcome back to Her Hoops, where we cover everything in women's basketball with zero filtered, maximum passion. If you love the W, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's talk about the biggest drama in the league right now. Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky, and what's starting to look like the coldest breakup of the season. This wasn't just another night in the WNBA. This was the night the Chicago Sky had circled on their calendar. A showdown with the Indiana Fever, a team that's been embarrassing them for 2 straight seasons. The record? 1 win, 7 losses. That's not a rivalry. That's a nightmare you can't wake up from. And if you're the Sky, this is the exact type of game where you want your star, Angel Reese, right there in the mix, even if she's not suiting up.
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing.
Courtside, cheering, locked in, sending a message to the Fever that, injury or not, she's still watching. But when the cameras panned to the bench that night, no Reese. Sideline shots, still nothing. The broadcast didn't even have a "there she is in street clothes" moment. She was simply absent. In the WNBA, that's rare. Even if you're dealing with a serious injury, there's an unspoken rule. You show up, you be visible, you keep your energy connected to your team. Instead, Angel was a ghost, and the timing, against their biggest mental block of an opponent, made her absence not just noticeable, but suspicious. It didn't feel like she was just missing a game. It felt like she was missing on purpose.
She identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year, and once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not going to win anything this year. I'm not putting these L's on my resume. I'm going to have an excuse for the Chicago Sky potentially coming in with the worst or second worst record in the WNBA. These losses will not be on my resume.
In professional sports, absence isn't just physical, it's visual. Fans don't just want to hear that you're supporting your team, they want to see it. They want that shot of the injured player clapping from the bench, laughing with teammates during timeouts, high-fiving after a made bucket. It's about connection, it's about optics. And in the WNBA, where every bit of exposure matters, that visual presence is part of the job. That's why Angel Reese's no-show against the Fever hit differently.
Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. But once you realized your double streak was over, and it was over. She took over post-Olympic break. Once you realized it was done, you threw in the towel, said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year.
To fans, that absence sends a message. Whether intentional or not, it says, I'm not part of this fight right now. And that's dangerous territory when your team is struggling. The Chicago Sky are in a tailspin, and their star's complete disappearance from the public eye only adds to the perception that something deeper is going on. In sports, sometimes not showing up says more than any press conference ever could. The official explanation for Angel Reese's absence? A back injury. Simple enough, right? Except here's the problem. There's been nothing to back that up beyond the initial mention. No medical updates, no rehab footage, no team-issued timeline, not even the classic "we'll reevaluate in 2 weeks" line that sports PR departments love to lean on. In the WNBA, that's unusual. Even the most minor ankle tweak gets weekly updates in the game notes. Fans are used to seeing players post training videos, photos in the gym, or at least a shot in sweats on the sideline.
What they do not understand is that coaches, and I know the WNBA in some regards isn't a real sports league, and I don't know if they think like real coaches and real people in sports, but the number one ability is availability. If you're not available, you have no value.
With Reese, radio silence. Weeks have gone by, and the only thing we've heard is that she's day-to-day. That phrase, in sports, can be the biggest black hole. It could mean tomorrow, or it could mean never. And let's be honest, back injury is the perfect cover when you want to keep the details vague. It's real enough to be believable, but impossible for outsiders to measure. You can't x-ray pain. You can't point to a single MRI image and say exactly when a player will feel ready. So now the question becomes, is Angel Reese rehabbing or retreating? When you look at the timeline, things get interesting.
What is the back injury? Everybody's questioning it now, and this will be a third straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in games, where she just stopped. She just stopped. Some of these injuries, we saw the injuries. We didn't see what happened. What happened? This is bad.
Before the All-Star break, Angel Reese was on a mission. She strung together a 10-game stretch that turned heads. Double-doubles, hustle plays, energy through the roof. Why? Many say it was about proving she belonged on the All-Star roster. She got her spot. The hype was there. Mission accomplished. But right after that, the momentum seemed to fade. The Sky's playoff hopes started slipping. Vanderloot was long gone. The team chemistry looked shaky, and the losses piled up. And then, like clockwork, the back injury appeared. No dramatic fall in a game. No obvious moment where she grimaced and left the court, just a quiet shift from playing heavy minutes to sitting out entirely. If Chicago was fighting for a top seed right now, do you really think Reese would still be out? If Angel Reese was trying to squash the rumors, her social media hasn't exactly been helping. Instead of posts cheering on the Sky or promising fans she'll be back soon, her feed has been different. We're talking cryptic quotes about knowing your worth, avoiding toxic energy, and making big moves. These aren't just random captions. To fans who are already suspicious, they look like hints. She's liked posts that seem unrelated to basketball, but heavy on personal empowerment vibes. And when you compare that to her total silence about the team's games, the gap feels loud. No reposted highlight clips, no good luck before tip-off, not even a shot of her watching from home. Fans have seen this movie before. Brittany Sykes posted similar read-between-the-lines content before her trade. When the move finally happened, people went back and realized she'd been signaling it for weeks. That's exactly how Reese's account feels now, like a trail of breadcrumbs leading away from Chicago. And when a player disappears from the court and drops cryptic social content, it feeds the narrative that she's not just out physically, she's already somewhere else mentally. This wasn't just any missed game. It was the matchup. Chicago versus Katie Aina. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. The rivalry that's been the centerpiece of so much WNBA buzz his year. The kind of game that draws extra cameras, bigger headlines, and maximum fan attention. For weeks, Sky fans circled this date, hoping for some revenge after Indiana had their number time and time again. And yet, when the ball tipped in Indianapolis, the Sky's most high-profile player wasn't even in the building. Not in the stands, not in the locker room, not anywhere in Gamebridge Fieldhouse. If this was truly just about injury, fans expected at least a courtside sighting. Instead, her absence became the story within the story. For the people invested in the Reese versus Clark narrative, this felt like a cold walk-away. The rivalry fuel was gone. Chicago was left to fight without their centerpiece. And for opponents, it sent a subtle but strong signal. If your biggest name won't even show up for the fight, how much fire does the team really have left? When the Sky fell again to Indiana, the loss was painful. But the missing presence of Angel Reese, that was salt in the wound. Once you start looking at Angel Reese's social media, a pattern begins to emerge that's impossible to ignore. Every post, every like, every story seems carefully curated, but not in a way that screams basketball. Instead, it's like breadcrumbs leading fans down a different path, one that hints at personal growth, off-court endeavors, and a possible detachment from Chicago entirely. No game highlights, no motivational posts for teammates, no visible rehab updates, just vague statements, inspirational captions, and reposts that fans are reading as signals. Social media is the modern-day microscope, and Angel's absence from both games and her own online basketball narrative has left room for speculation to explode. Fans are dissecting emojis, interpreting quotes, and trying to connect the dots between her silence on the court and her activity online. It raises questions that go beyond injury. Is this a temporary break, a silent protest, or a full-on checkout? The bigger picture is about control and agency. In a league where stars are constantly under scrutiny, how a player manages their visibility, both on and off the court, speaks volumes. And in Angel Reese's case, the silence is loud. Every missed game, every vague post, every unexplained absence adds fuel to the conversation. Does she want to be in Chicago anymore? Only time will tell. But right now, the speculation is as intense as the WNBA spotlight itself. At the end of the day, only Angel Reese knows the truth. Maybe she's really protecting her body. Maybe she's playing chess while the rest of us are watching checkers. Or maybe this season was over for her the minute she decided the sky weren't worth the fight. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure. If this ends with a trade or a sudden departure, we'll look back at this game and say, we should have seen it coming. What do you think? Is Angel Reese saving herself for a better situation, making a point to the front office, or walking away for good? Drop your thoughts below, and trust me, we're going to be watching this one closely.